Live from the Talking Joe studios.
It's Talking Joe with Chief and Ben. Hey, it's the Chief. I'm joined by my buddy.
It's me, it's Ben, it's Talking Joe.
Sure is. Episode 15, my friend. Did you ever think we'd get here?
I didn't. I thought we'd do two.
Okay. We actually put out a poll this week, didn't we, just to see who was listening and whether they're reading along. At this moment in time, 22 votes. That is 9 people are listening and reading along, and 13 are listening, enjoying, but not reading along.
9 people reading along. That's cool.
We'll take that.
I'll take that. How you been, mate? What you been up to?
Just chilling out, really.
You've been enjoying the weather. You're not a weather guy.
I'm a weather guy. But it's been it's nice. It's been shorts and t-shirt weather around here, isn't it?
Oh, it's been incredible. We got overexcited, and the whole family went and bought wetsuits.
Ouch. Okay. Okay.
I think it's all these goddamn nautical issues of G.I. Joe I'm reading.
Yeah. You just want to get in that ocean.
There's a lot of nautical issues.
So there is, yeah. I like a bit of nautical
But I
action.
love it too. But it's amazing. It's maritime. So anyway.
How your house is how far from the beach?
Oh, you could walk it if you really wanted to, but a little drive.
Yeah.
But
so you all bought these wetsuits and you've all been in the drink so far?
No.
In
Because
the bathtub.
Yeah. the ocean is
cold.
at its coldest. 7 degrees right now, which is that is cold. I was actually surprised it was that cold.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna get Phoenix into bodyboarding. I'm gonna buy a surfboard. Emma is doing swimming, so she's bought a wetsuit that's a bit more geared up for swimming.
Right.
And to be honest with you, I don't know what the heck Indy's gonna do.
No.
Just sat on the beach watching us frolic.
Yeah.
But the weather has perked me up. Not that I was down, but I just feel really G'd up. Although I think it's breaking tomorrow and it's just going to be grey again. But what did you do on the weekend? Did you get out in it? Bournemouth was just crazy.
We it was Evelyn's friend from nursery had a 4th birthday party on Sunday, so we went to that. And on the Saturday, I went down to my buddies, Sam's down in G-Town, Guildford, and we did a board game. We played some Star Wars Imperial Assault.
Nice. Did you get the Wampa out?
We did not get the Wampa. We were using a new app that you've got. It's called Legends of the Alliance, and one of the modes of gameplay is one player controlling the evil empire, and up to 1 to 4 heroes in a co-op mode. Versus, they play a campaign effectively, but it was just the 2 of us. And rather than play one-on-one, we've got this app out which effectively plays the Empire character for you. So we do all our moves, and then it tells you where to put the enemies on the board, what they're going to do when it's their turn to act, whether they're going to attack or move or whatever. So it's kind of it's AI. It's an AI opponent. And,
okay, is it delivered and sort of designed in a really cool way in terms of its...
Yeah, the app's really cool. It's got atmospheric music on it.
That's what I mean.
On the tablet. Yeah, it's really cool.
Hey,
it's got loads of flavour text to read out.
That makes so much sense, you know. Yeah. I've never thought of that. Have they got that for like D&D, do you think?
Probably,
because you know when someone doesn't want to be the...
Games Master, Dungeon Master.
God, is it an official app?
It's an official app from the company. Fantasy Flight is the company that makes the game. Yeah, it's really good. We're going to give it... that was mission 1 on the campaign. And I'm actually toying with the possibility of another podcast in the talking line, probably something like Talking the Game. And that is as a pod. It's going to be a board game / audio book podcast, but it is early stages, and I can't say any more. But look out for that.
It's in the early stages of R&D.
Apart from that, I've been getting back into DraftKings. Have you heard of DraftKings?
I have. I thought you'd already be doing it.
Yeah, I was doing it a long time ago. But so for those who don't know, this is the idea of fantasy. So in the UK, fantasy football is a big thing.
Very big for me, Chief.
And you play it, do you? Select your squad.
Good 8-9 years now.
Okay, so the one of the major differences with something like American football on fantasy football is you have a draft. So there might only be 8 teams in your league, 8 players, but every player is unique. So you have a draft. I pick whatever Tom Brady, then the next person can't have Tom Brady in his team. So if you're doing that in like fantasy soccer, fantasy football, you can't.
Yeah, people have draft parties, don't they? Everyone gets over.
Yeah, exactly.
Do the draft.
And where DraftKings works is obviously it monetize. Well, not obviously, but what it does is it monetizes fantasy sports. So I can put my American football team up in a competition versus someone else's. Now this is not in a draft format though, so I could have the same team as someone else. But what we've been getting to at work is golf fantasy DraftKings.
Golf.
Yeah, we do. We actually do a draft at work. There's 8 of us. We put like 10 quid in a week, and then
you're drafting your ass off.
Yeah, drafting our ass off. So I won one of them actually this week.
Big money game.
Big money games, like 50 quid winner. But we've got an overall competition that's going to culminate in the US Masters, which is in April. So we've got another tournaments coming up this week. We're playing 10 tournaments, and then you select your best 5 results from those 10, and then whoever's got the most points wins. So I'll give a shout out to the bangers DraftKings crew at work, which is Wacko Jacko, T Dizzle, Danny Ads, the L Train, Todd Meister, G Smiddy, Ballbag Bud, and obviously Chief Dog.
Those are great names.
So that's the crew. That's the 8 strong crew.
Let me explain how my dream team works.
Yes.
So we all put cash in.
Yep.
We put 50 quid in at the beginning of the season. It's about 25 of us, 30 of us. So it's a big old prize.
Yep.
So that gets divvied up for whoever finishes first, second, and third.
Yep.
And then you also get a bonus cash prize because you've got to keep people invested even when their teams are shot.
Most people quit by Christmas, don't they?
Oh, there's so many dropouts. So to keep it, if you have the best game week, you get a prize.
Right.
So out of all the weeks, whoever achieved the most points for a week, they get a prize. But the big thing is, you do not want to come last, Chief. Because
what's happened? Sounds like there's a forfeit or something.
There is. And unfortunately, it's happened to me. So if you come last, the winner gets to go to a fishmonger's.
Yes.
Buy some fish.
Yeah, trout or what?
Whatever you want.
Yeah.
Whatever you want. I'm trying to... and then you have to meet up. Everyone meets up.
Yep. And
you are allowed to fish slap the loser.
Once, or can you paintbrush them a little bit?
Dude, no. I mean, once you've been slapped around the face with a fish,
okay,
that's enough.
Okay, I've not experienced that.
You physically hurt the man. You've hurt his pride.
Yeah. Does he drop to one knee or what? What's the scenario there?
Oh, I went flying when it happened to me. Happened to me on the beach, and what was funny about it? It was Indy's. It was a really sweet, family occasion. I think it was Indy's 2nd birthday party.
Yeah.
And then my mate Steve the Tin Man rocks up with a selection of different fish, and just everyone had to watch me get smashed in the chops with
Don't finish bottom.
Salmon. Yeah, do not. But anyway, so there we go.
Quick shout out. I missed it last week. Sorry. Doug Dello emailed us in. This is the first podcast he's ever listened to. We're proud to have you on board. He loves the show.
That.
He loves the show. He has got one issue. He disagrees with a lot of our rankings, and his big beef is with you because he can't believe you don't like Quinn.
Yeah, he can't believe that. But we're high rankers, aren't we?
We are high rankers. Yeah.
Is that what he doesn't agree with?
No, I think it's maybe just some of the rankings, not all of them. But
God, can you imagine?
Good to have you on board, Doug.
Being someone's first podcast.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Inside Chief's mind.
I've got 2 for you. I'm going to keep them quick. I've got 2 for you. And this is more just general annoyance. Just absolutely fuming with rage.
Okay.
Sold a motorbike jacket. I sold a motorbike jacket on eBay.
Right.
Went down to package it up, to post it, pulled it out of the porch, packaged it up, whatever, sent it off.
That's a big one. That's heavy postage, man.
Yeah, it was. I did My Hermes. It was like £3.99.
Jeez, it's cheap.
And then I've gone into the porch like a couple of days later. I'm tidying up. We've got like a shoe rack or whatever and some coats. I'm tidying up stuff and I see a motorbike jacket hanging in the porch. I'm like, wait a minute, what's this? I've sent the wrong jacket. I've sent him my motorbike jacket.
Well, yeah, you annoy yourself.
Instead of the one he paid for and bought, I've sent him my motorbike jacket. So I'm like, oh my goodness.
That is Goonsville.
So what can I do? The one I have sold him is an XXL because it was
He's not going to be happy.
It was a jacket. No, that's the one he bought. He wanted an XXL, but that's the jacket that was given to me by another friend a couple of years ago. He's like, I got this spare motorbike jacket. Do you want it? And I was like, well, it doesn't fit me, but yeah, I'll take it. You never know if I might balloon up in size, but I've never worn it because it's too big. So I thought, I'll sell it. And so I thought maybe he'll be happy with the one I've sent him, but he won't because the one I've sent him is a medium. So clearly he wanted an XXL. He's not going to be happy with a medium.
Has it got to him yet? Is it all?
Yeah. So he hadn't received it yet. So I intercepted
so much
that.
Correspondence.
Intercepted that by mailing him saying, look, sorry, my man, I've sent you the wrong jacket.
Finders keepers, he says.
I'm going to send you out. Don't worry, I'm going to send you out. I don't want negative feedback. I thought I'm going to send you out the jacket you've paid for. And I didn't broach the subject of, oh yeah, by the way, can you send me the other one back? I don't want to go in too early with that.
Just hope that he offers.
Correct. So he's only got 5 feedback. He's a newbie. He's messaged me back pretty much straight away saying, don't worry, no problem. Send me your address and I'll send your one back.
Oh, nice guy.
Sweet. So then I've had to obviously go online and buy some online postage. Email that to him. He's then printed it out and I've received it back. So anyway, that's that one.
Motorbike jacket
chaos.
chaos.
So then the second one is at work. So I've got my roast dinner leftovers in the microwave, put it on 3.5 minutes, gone for a Jimmy Riddle while I'm waiting. Those who don't know, a Jimmy Riddle is going for a wee. Come back, open up the microwave. The Tupperware pot has a massive melted hole in it. Literally, the Tupperware has melted.
Dude, you know a lot about microwaving. Why would you be putting an unmicrowavable Tupperware inside a microwave?
Incorrect. The microwave was... the Tupperware was microwavable, but some idiot had changed the setting on the microwave to be oven setting.
No.
Correct.
No, not after you, though, they didn't.
No, before me. I went to the microwave.
Exactly. You just assume, man. You can't rock up to a microwave just assuming it's all set up for chief settings.
Well,
have this all the time with a toaster.
Small bit of tidbit information. That idiot was actually me, because at 9 o'clock I went in and I put my Danish pastries in it, changed it to the oven setting, put it on for 10 minutes. Oh, lovely Danish pastries at 9 a.m. I've gone back at 12:30 and used the same microwave, and it was still on oven setting that I put it on 3.5 hours earlier. So I've melted my own Tupperware. But I fear that other people have come in between me cooking my Danishes, and they've also had melted Tupperware.
Chief, you should have been sectioned this week. Yeah. You are not safe to be out.
No.
This is poor form.
Yeah. Rage, fuming.
So you're worried about other people making...
Well, they might have come in between 9 a.m. and 12:30 to cook their lunch, and they're like, "Holy ball bags! What idiot has been melting my Tupperware
between those hours?"
No
one's ever cooked lunch between 9 a.m. and 12.
Well, all right. I have lunch. I like to have lunch sometimes at 11:45.
Yeah, but this is your ballooning years, as you've already said. You're ballooning up.
Yeah.
So, to be honest with you, Chief, it sounds like you consistently eat.
Yeah, I'm tired of this talk. Let's talk G.I. Joe comics.
Okay, let's do it.
Right, so we had a little bit of a surprise for our listeners this week, because we were originally going to do issues 42, 43 and 44. We had a last-minute adjustment to that schedule, and we included Special Missions 1 in that as well. A couple of reasons for this. The main reason is we're more than likely going to go up to 4 issues per episode, because I think that's going to work better down the stretch. And if we'd have included issue 45, it would have been in the middle of another storyline. So we've shoehorned in Special Missions 1. I know this wasn't actually published till after issue 50 of G.I. Joe, but it's a standalone story. It's absolutely not a problem. So apologies to those who we give you short notice to go. If you are doing the read-along, if you're one of the 9 doing the read-along, hopefully you've got the message in time. We're including this in this episode. Let me just open my book. So this is 42. We have Storm Shadow on the cover, sword behind him, about to cut someone's head off with a big question mark on the silhouetted head.
Yeah, love that cover, but, no need for the question mark.
No need for the question mark.
No.
Correct. This is the first of a two-parter. This is called Ties That Bind. It's script by Larry Harmer, pencils Rod Wiggum, inks by Andy Mazinski, Joe Rosen's on letters and George Roussos on colours.
How do you feel about this little arc here, Chief? Because I know you like this stuff. We're going back into Storm Shadow, Snake Eyes, a little bit of going back to Narm.
You've got a couple of strands here. So the main synopsis of this one is General Austin has had a heart attack. So Snake Eyes, Hawk and Stalker are going down to Washington to see him. There's also got the continuation of the Buzzer Candy escape from the pit. And you've also got the Storm Shadow Billy ninja training thing. And you've also got the Softmaster who appears as a hitchhiker. So you've got these 4 kind of things, and they all actually interlink into one kind of story. Well, not the Snake Eyes one, that's kind of separate, the Snake Eyes Hawk bit, but the other 3 interlink.
Yeah, man.
Absolutely love this.
Oh, it's a great issue.
You're going to find these 2 issues. You're going to find this is heading scroll up to the top of that chart, baby.
Yeah, I see. I knew that you were going to love this.
Yeah.
This is kind of the other style of a G.I. Joe comic to the ones that we read last week.
So
I don't
the
mean that in a
previous
bad
2
way.
issues, 40, 41, which you said was right in your wheelhouse, which is where the Joes are the Cobra Island, the Joes assaulting that.
Yeah, it was a massive
And
battle.
you said that was for you. This is my kind of thing. Bit more low key. Well,
Low
it's not.
key.
There's loads of action, but my
Well,
favourite.
it's intrigue, it's heavy story,
Yeah.
a lot of character. I tell you, man, that general at the beginning,
Yeah.
he was so stressed.
Smoking that pipe.
He went and had a heart attack.
Went and had a heart attack. Hawk's gone down to see him, whatever. This is where Fred comes back in, doesn't he? Fred.
Yes.
And he references, because he's not feeling well. Fred is not feeling well. He's under the weather. He's got a fever. And he references when he took a dip in the Hudson River or wherever it was. When he pulled Snake Eyes' mask off the ferry and he fell in. So Fred is not feeling well. And obviously he's a replacement Fred for the other Fred who died up on the mountain range. Larry sprinkles in a bit of soap opera here, because in that beginning bit, Fred's talking to his missus and the kids. We thought you loved us, whatever. And he's like giving them jip. I'm just a guy here. I'm not even your real dad, etc. Blah, blah, blah. He goes off in a huff, doesn't he? And he actually spots those Joes and he tracks those bastards down.
Yeah, because they're giving Hawk a personal lift to the hospital, aren't they?
Yeah, they're
With
Snake Eyes and Stalker. Like, we'll drive you down there to Washington. Don't worry about that.
Nice guys.
Yeah. And they say, we're going to stop off at the War Memorial to pay our respects to our fallen buddies from Narm.
Yeah, and that's where he pops out.
That's where he pops out, yeah. And you find out that he's actually an old war buddy of theirs called Wade Collins, who actually was in their long-range recon patrol in Narm.
Yeah, they left the poor bugger for dead.
They left him for dead.
He's pissed.
And then Billy is also skinned out from Storm Shadow. They're doing some training, and it's how do you feel about the Billy arc here? Is it too quick, him becoming a master? Well, he's not a master, but
I give that a massive pass, because what other option have they got?
Same, yeah.
So I got 0 issue.
Lovely
with that.
panels here. Rod's drawn a lovely. There's a page with 4 vertical panels where they're underneath the water tower, and Storm Shadow's got his sword up. He's whipping it down over his head. It's the cover image effectively rendered in the insides, and Billy's not flinching. He's like, I knew you wouldn't do it, And there's also a bit the page before. So Buzzer's escaped with Candy. He's now in a pickup truck. Some bloke who's taken his pickup truck is trying to stop him, and Buzzer has literally rammed this guy about 70 miles an hour head on, and the dude's gone straight through the window of this restaurant.
Yeah, he also gives
absolutely brutal.
Gives her a big old backhand as
gives
well.
Gives her a slap, yeah.
It's very filmy, isn't it? That this issue.
Yeah, you got the Softmaster. You don't know what he's doing. He's popped up for the first time since, I don't know, when was the last time he was up on the mountain. And some guy picks him up. He's like a drunk driver, isn't he?
Yes.
Or he's drinking a strong coffee laced with brandy.
He's going to the police station in Springfield, isn't he?
He's going to the police station. He rocks up. He thinks there's something in the. You can tell this was done back in the 90s. This was December 1985 because he's like, there's information on the memory banks of your computer. That he probably could have accessed from any computer, but
yeah,
maybe not back in the day. It's stored on the hard drive, let's say. Probably no internet actually, and it turns out to be a Cobra, a police station which is laced with Cobra troopers, posing as police officers, and he lays the whammy down on all these dudes. Great scenes, like you say, very filmic. It's just
well, that especially the buzzer stuff is very kidnapper and hostage kind of vibe. But then, what do you think about Storm Shadow at the end, getting the letter from Billy, and Billy's gone off and he wants to confront Cobra Commander?
Yeah, because earlier Storm Shadow had kind of said, one day I'm going to rise in the ranks, I'll find the killer of the Hardmaster, and Billy knows. There's some good angst there because Billy, he's reading Storm Shadow and he knows, this is something really personal to him and he wants to help out. So he, like you say, Storm Shadow's come back, he's got his groceries and he finds a letter. Dear Storm Shadow, thank you for everything you've done for me. You have given me back my life and I can never repay you, but I'm going to try. I'm going to confront my past and part of yours. I hope you will find it in your heart to forgive me leaving like this. If I could have chosen my own father, well, ... your faithful pupil Billy. So he's obviously bugging out to confront Dad and say, look.
And he's also trying to help out Storm Shadow.
He's trying to help out Storm Shadow, yeah, because like he says, he sees him as a father figure.
Should we because we're talking about this as one story, aren't we?
Yeah, we'll crack on straight into 43, yeah?
I was confused. I was like, hang on, I must have missed this one. I was like, what is that? Some sort of Cobra zombie?
He looks like Taskmaster from the Marvel superhero universe.
Then I was like, oh, is that a BAT? What is that?
Love that.
And I was like, well, I'll find out, I guess.
Just from like you say, it's not, what actually, because he's got, it looks like an M60, which was Snake Eye's weapon in Nam, but is it supposed to be Fred? Is it supposed to be Wade Collins? Is it a representation of Wade Collins, or is it just a representation of Death?
Well, when we get to that bit, we'll discuss it. But
okay.
I thought it was clear what it was. Isn't it Billy's visions of death and destruction? Isn't it?
Maybe. Yeah.
Well, because there's a panel with the Grim Reaper. He looks exactly like that dude.
Yeah. It's just he's holding an M60.
To be fair, it could be a bit of everything.
I like it though. I think it's a great visual.
Oh yeah, it's really cool.
And again, Larry has directed Rod for an opening page splash, which is a real cool image. Wade Collins, they're at the War Memorial. Wade Collins has whipped out his silenced gun, and he says, "I'm Wade Collins, your fellow long-range recon patrol that you left for dead in that stinking valley in the Central Highlands." But they didn't know, and I love all this bit where Stalkers and Wade Collins are recapping what happened. They were on a mission with Dickie Saperstein, and they name check a few other guys that were in the patrol.
He goes into it and he just gives you a full detail of what gun they were carrying.
Yeah, I know you don't like that stuff, but I like.
No. I just find it funny that's what he talks about. He goes through each person and gives you a detail of what gun they had. I was like, crikey, they've come through this clearing and found a bunch of people down
NVAs,
there, eating some rice. And if you're just going panel to panel, it's like, hang on, they've just literally opened up on these guys.
Yeah, the next page, it says...
Haven't even given them a chance.
Well, it says, Ramon and I opened up on them, but it looked to be close to a full company of regular troops here. And then you get some great panels, some silhouettes.
It says they weren't bashful about returning fire.
Yeah. Someone stepped on a mine. Who stepped on a mine?
Yeah, they took it, whoever that was.
Dickie stepped on a mine, yeah. I heard Dickie sound out that he was going to flank them and bloop frags down on their heads. I heard the mine that got him. It was a big un. There's a panel there of just Dickie Saperstein silhouetted. He is long gone.
Yeah, he's gone. So I loved all this stuff, and they take him. He's POW for a while.
Oh, he's POW, and they just assume dead.
Yeah, and his story is really interesting about how he discovers Cobra. And everything.
Yeah, there's some great flashbacks there where he's, like you say, he's back now in civilization, and he discovers Cobra, and he's pissed off with the world, and he finds some common ground with these dudes.
The only thing that I was, it was his turn that came almost off page.
Yeah.
Whereas I feel like they were setting it up for something, and then all of a sudden he's back to his inherited family saying, "Hey, I've done you wrong."
All right, okay, right.
Do you know what I mean?
He's portrayed throughout the issue as like the villain.
He's a badass, and he's super pissed, isn't he?
He's super pissed off, and then right at the end, like you say,
Stalker and Snake Eyes take him to, where do they drive him to? They drive him to his family, don't they?
Yeah, he basically has a change of heart, doesn't he? Like you say, they take him back to his family, and they.
I also thought that Snake Eyes, when he got the gun on Snake Eyes, and then he's like, "Get in this car."
Yeah.
I was like, "Come on, man! Snake Eyes would absolutely destroy you."
Yeah, but Snake Eyes knew. Maybe Snake Eyes was like, okay,
I think he's a
Wade
nice
Collins,
guy.
He's my old buddy. Let's see if we
Let's
can
help
do.
this
I
brother.
see, it's like I see good in him.
I think
he's
you're right,
more
Chief.
machine now than man. No,
I think you're right because
Um,
if he wanted to, he could get that gun out of his hand.
yeah,
No issues.
exactly. But then like you say, he goes back and he apologizes. I'm sorry, I truly am. You can have your lives back. These guys will help you keep out of Cobra's way. And then he's turning, he's crying, and he hears this, Dad. I know you
Yeah.
think that's a bit sappy, but I love all that stuff.
No, it's not that I don't love it. I think it's just that I like the other stuff more.
Yeah.
But in this particular issue, I really liked
The soft master
the
chase.
other strand that
Yeah.
was going on. And we get who do we get? Do we get Scrap Iron? Who do we
Yeah,
get?
so
New character?
Firefly, Buzzer's Candy is now got away from Buzzer, but the truck has broken down, and she's got a massive spanner when she's trying to fix the vehicle. So that's a common theme.
Wrench.
Cod pieces and wrenches is what Rod Wigham's into. And she hails down she's hitchhiking, and she lo and behold gets the same drunk driver that the Softmaster.
He's smashed.
Yeah, he's been drinking coffee later.
He's really smashed.
Now
in
he's
this one.
proper smashed. So she's now with
Yes.
him. Buzzer has got some freight train back to Springfield, and lo and behold, round the corner on a ferret is Firefly and new villain Scrap Iron.
Yes, who was very big in the cartoon.
Didn't really watch much of the cartoon. I didn't even have the figure either.
Did they have a figure? They
yeah,
must
he
have,
was
clearly.
he was wave 1 for the UK. I don't know what he was in the US. Probably the same.
I feel like they haven't, because Firefly is such a kind of G.I. Joe legend. He's such a fan
You're
favourite.
saying he doesn't get much screen time in the
No,
comic.
that can't be from anything that he's done just yet.
No.
Apart from he is a visually cool character, because I don't think they've quite nailed what he's about. But that's totally fine.
Yeah.
He's actually quite funny, I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
But anyway,
Do you like all this
when-
softmasters in the police
Yeah.
station? He's now got into the computer, and he's trying to find what he's trying to find is in these Cobra memory banks. He's trying to
Who
find
killed
evidence
Hardmaster.
of who killed the Hardmaster, and then he finds it. There's some panel where he finds
he's
it.
just about to say it.
He's about to say it, and then loads more cops turn up. He gives one dude an absolute vicious backhand slap across the face, and busts through and escapes. So he's now got the
Yes.
information he needs. People going through plate glass windows. When he gets into the car, he's doing some super ninja judo throw. He's a bad man.
Yeah, it's when he takes off the top of the car, a la, I think it's View to a Kill, James Bond,
Yeah,
Roger Moore, when he's
when
driving.
he's in Paris.
Possibly,
Yeah.
yeah.
But that scene also reminded me of Spy Who Loved Me, because the truck explodes and all these chickens come flying out. Whereas in Spy Who Loved Me, you remember when he's the motorbike and sidecar fires a missile and it's a truck full of feathers.
Yes.
All those feathers,
All
and he
those
still
feathers,
can't
he still
fly.
can't fly.
Oh,
Love it.
Love it.
Okay,
Similar.
best thing in this issue, though, when Scrap Iron starts climbing up the old telephone pole.
But I'm
Gets out-
cutting back first. Why is Billy
Oh.
in a car with some nuns?
I know, they just chucked that in
Right,
there, and I
forget
think
about
you're meant to read between the lines, and
Okay.
he's having a crisis, isn't he?
Yeah. The Softmaster left his suitcase in this drunk driver's car. So all three of these guys are going to go back, drop off his suitcase, and then continue on their merry way. This
What's
is when
in that suitcase? Is it literally just his pants?
it's
There's nothing,
probably just his pants. Yeah.
There's nothing serious.
Yeah. And in
No.
pants in the UK, that means underwear,
Yeah, not jeans.
not jeans. That's called trousers. Do Americans use the word trousers?
I don't think they do. No, they think that's really hilarious.
Okay.
But yeah, so he's in the back seat.
That's
and
where
he-
he's got. I'm on the panel now.
I just thought that was the front cover. He's
No,
like,
you're not seeing things, but I am. I see death and fire. I think you're
Death
probably
and
right. Yeah, I think
fire.
it was probably death was on the Grim Reaper was on that front cover of the issue. Yeah,
Um,
and then you get this is where the explosion happens.
exactly. So the train cuts in.
Softmaster crosses a train track where trains come in. The other dudes are coming the other way. He swerves. Big explosion. Both cars crash. Oh no, Softmaster doesn't crash. He turns back.
He goes back.
to go to save the three from the wreckage. And this is where you said the telephone pole thing. Scrap Iron. All these people had pretty much dying in these cars. Scrap Irons climbed the telephone pole and
He can't believe his
literally
luck.
launched a rocket at people.
Yeah, it's awesome. I was
You
like,
like that video?
yes, I did because whenever I'm, reading stuff like this, I'm just like, have they got the balls to do this?
Well,
Turn the
there's
page.
a page, and
yes,
the Softmaster has literally been shredded.
it's so good the way they've drawn that with the boom, and he's
And
he's
then-
kind of flaking up.
Yeah, but that's not enough. Because then
No, he
Scrap
goes
Iron
again.
launches another one.
And I think you know what that made me think of from Die Hard. Hit it again.
Oh, yeah. Hit
You
it
know that
again.
bit?
Hans, you've made your
Yeah.
point.
I love that.
Hit it
He
again.
hits it again. And you just see, wow. I mean,
Yeah. That's absolute carnage.
surely no one's walking out of that. We will have to see.
We'll have to see.
That's a hell of a 2 issues.
That is 2 issues. I'm going straight in with a 9.
Yeah, I'll go 8.
Really, really enjoyed that. That's very much a nostalgia couple of issues for me. That's
Yeah.
a couple of issues I really enjoyed as a kid and still do
Oh, that's awesome.
today. But good stuff. And
So we're gonna be-
there's it wraps up that kind of Fred storyline, but Candy,
Well, this is the
Candy,
thing,
Softmaster, and Billy.
This is what's
Are
cool.
they
It's,
dead?
it's wrapping things up, but it's also paving the way for new things,
Yep.
leaving things open. It's
Yep,
great.
exactly.
It's
Good
awesome
stuff.
storytelling.
Um,
So, 44.
Issue 44. This is February '86. Script Larry Hama, pencils Rod Wiggum, inks Andy Mazinski, colouring George Roussos, letters Joe Rosen. I think the credits for the issue 43 were the same as 42. So in fact, all 3 of these issues, same team. Cover of this one is Lady J on the, I think it's a Silver Mirage motorbike, with a new villain in a like a 18-wheeler, and it turns out this is the BAT, the Battle
Yeah.
Android Trooper, which has not been seen before.
She needs to do a top-up, Chief.
Yes, bit risque.
Very low.
Bit risque. Just to let you know, you also get Bazooka for the first time, Crankcase for the first time, Heavy Metal, Airtight, Dr. Mindbender, and the Bat
Yes.
and the BAT. So you actually get six new characters. So obviously Hasbro did some big releases. Larry Hama was like, okay, we'll stick all these dudes in a filler issue.
Yeah, we've got a filler issue, but this feels like this is a line in the sand because this represents when I started buying G.I. Joe.
Yes.
Because Airtight was the first G.I. Joe figure I ever bought.
Really?
Yes. When I picked up Volume 5, Tangible, with the cover, we've got Beachhead, Airtight, Lowlight, Alpine, Bazooka, Mindbender, and Serpentor. And that is basically my entry point.
Yes.
So those characters,
You know these guys.
the kind of first characters that I met.
Yep.
So I was like, oh my God, Beachhead, Airtight. So this was big nostalgia pangs. Also, the Ore Striker was the first vehicle I ever had.
That was a great vehicle, man.
The Mauler
Yep.
bought off you for £10,
Got it.
which £10 back then, you
As-
made a killing.
Probably not. Well, I don't know. I reckon it was about, something in my head says 18 to 22 pounds. Don't know. I'm making that up. But anyway, this issue is about the Cobras have got some sort of spy satellite, and they've been able to find out where the Joes do their training. And,
Yeah,
and
it's like a game.
There's a new guy on the scene, Dr. Mindbender, although he gets incorrectly referenced by Destro as
Yeah.
Dr. Brainwave, which I'll come on to a bit later. And he's got some new. He wants to get into Cobra Commander's good graces. It's almost like a trial. It's a job interview. What can you do, Mindbender? And he's got this thing called a creeper bomb, which he uses basically as his job interview to say, "Look at how great I am."
Yeah, I didn't think it was the greatest introduction of a character that I actually really like. I haven't read this issue before, and I was like, oh, it's pretty low key for the entry of this.
I don't actually mind this issue too much. I know it gets
No,
a
I
lot
don't
of-
mind it
I
at
know
all.
it gets a lot of flack for being absolute turgid, but I didn't think it was that bad at all.
Oh, there's just so many visual things here that stimulate me. Like, when I was a kid, the Battle Android Troopers were big for me.
Yeah, when they're introduced, they're just running. It's quality. They're running
They're
in
not
the
quite
freeway.
quite drawn how they end up being, I don't think, just yet. They look slightly different to how I remember.
Okay.
They still look really cool, though.
Yeah.
It's just there's I don't really like the spore stuff that Mindbender's got that goes all over the vehicles and stuff.
Yeah, these bats have released this creeper bomb, like you say. It's a plant spore that grows bigger and kind of just disables the vehicles, doesn't it, effectively? But I mean, look at these pages.
I know.
The art is so good.
The Mauler with the turret coming at you.
Yeah.
And then there's just something about Bazooka, that red jersey he's got. He's just such a cool character.
Yeah.
Really, really like
these
that.
spores have released all this gas, and it's basically knocked out all the G.I. Joe team. And this is the first bit where Destro says
they wake up in a different area, don't
Cobra, large quantities produced under license in my weapons factories, Dr. Brainwave. And,
slip up.
No one really questions it. And he does it again at another page later on as well. But I like that page, like you said, where that image where the Mauler's facing the camera. The page before that is where Mindbender's kind of in his lair, and it kind of zooms in on him, and he looks really evil, and he's got this twirly moustache, and
that's what I meant by it was a bit of a soft intro to him,
right?
Because he's just such an iconic and kind of distinctive character.
Yeah.
I thought his entrance was going to be, because I was waiting for it, because I knew it must have been coming soon. I thought it was going to be a big grand thing, and I certainly thought it would be via Cobra Commander. But, I thought Destro is a little bit goonish in this issue.
You think?
I thought towards the end it gets a little bit goonish.
They basically, rather than just kill them, they've got them knocked out. They take them to an abandoned scrapyard where they've built a maze.
Yeah, I quite like that.
Cars
it was like
and stuff.
Saw or something. It was like one of those.
I didn't mind that at all.
Things. I like that.
And basically, they've trying to, and they kind of discount a bit. Oh, look, it was only new Joes that were part of their initial
training.
They're not
actually officially,
So they're kind of like
they?
saying, look, we didn't take on their best Joes. So, and they stick. I love this bit. They put some bats on Harley Davidsons.
What's the Joe bike?
I think it's a Silver Mirage.
That's it. Yeah, there's a lot of new stuff in this
Bazooka
issue.
is strong as an ox, man. He's got they got that cannon on top of the All Striker. He literally rips it off and throws it.
Keep the weight down, Chief.
He knocks one of the bats' heads off.
Yeah.
Amazing.
They want to keep the weight down.
There's a reference in here to Yojo Cola, which might be the first reference to Yojo Cola.
Holy dude. No, we've had loads.
Have we?
Yeah.
I've been sleeping.
Recently, yes.
100%.
100%.
Okay, all right.
Many times.
Apologies, errors on the show. Don't write in.
I
then Mindbender loads up the mother load. He loads up some truck with like loads and loads of. He goes, "This is overkill." And he just loaded his truck up with explosives and creeper bombs.
Yeah, airtight. He's been being all weird, collecting those scorpions earlier.
Yeah, but you find out
lazzes those through the window.
Boomtown, yeah.
His monocle comes off.
Yeah, well, they also cut up the batteries and they pour the battery acid on the spores. They're basically thinking they're doing a MacGyver or an 80.
Yeah,
thinking on their feet. Lady J's got up in a big crane, using the magnets. So much going on in this issue.
Yeah, I've got absolutely no issues with this issue. I think you thought I might be hating it, but I loved it.
Yeah, good stuff.
I loved it.
At the end, Baroness gets a fang and basically flies off with the other two dudes.
Yeah, hanging room only. Precisely.
I'm going to quickly cut forward to issue 48, which has a letter in the back. So they used to do this thing in Marvel called a no prize, which was when they would theoretically award a prize. They say it's a no prize, but I think they would actually send you something in the post if you were able to explain away seeming errors within a Marvel comic.
Okay.
Okay, so here we have Dear Fellow Joes, I was extremely disappointed when there was no Postbox the Pit in issue 44. Well, anyhow, it was a strange but great issue. Are Destro and the Baroness planning to overthrow Cobra Commander and Dr. Mindbender? About Dr. Mindbender, I have a question. Why on page 5 and 10 did Destro call the Doctor Dr. Brainwave? And then on page 15, the Baroness calls him Dr. Mindbender. I have a solution. Destro was being sarcastic, mocking the Doctor for his intelligence. Am I correct, and do I get a no prize? And the answer was, your no prize is on its way, Richard. And yes, we will see more of Dr. Mindbender in future issues.
Nice.
So he explained it away by Destro was literally taking the piss out of him.
I like it.
Yeah, so there you go. That's how you get a no prize. Explain away, things that are seemingly wrong but aren't. So,
yes.
What are you giving this one?
I am going to give it an 8, but it was a nostalgia pangs. I was just loving new characters, Striker. I get excited by new characters.
Yeah, I'm giving it a 7.
Okay.
I thought it was solid. I enjoyed it.
Wicked.
So now we are going on to G.I. Joe Special Missions number 1.
I was pumped for this.
So this is October 1986. What we've just read was February 86. So we are jumping forward in time, but again, it's a one-off. So we're not worried about that.
Yeah, so who have we got on the cover? Is it a new character? We got Wetsuit?
Wetsuit, yes. I think he does actually
And-
get introduced in issue 47 of the regular series. So
Okay.
this isn't actually his first appearance, but
Yeah, he's just drawn differently to how, because I remember him. The colours are slightly
because
different.
this issue contains all your nautical dudes here, aren't they? Cutter, Deep Six, Wetsuit, Torpedo,
Yes. Shipwreck.
Shipwreck. Literally anyone who's got any kind of affinity with the water.
I love me some maritime G.I. Joe.
We've got Herb Trimpe is back, and if you remember
Yes.
Herb Trimpe, he drew a lot of the early issues up to about issue 8 or something like that. He was a lot of the early issues, and he draws a lot of this Special Missions run.
Oh, that's such good news for me.
And I think he was inking himself here as well. Letters is Phil Felix. Colorist is Bob Sharen. Mike Zeck is doing the cover. But it harkened back to kind of a very sort of gritty... His style is very
Yes.
distinct, Trimpe.
It's the detail I love. And initially I was like, oh, this is good, man. We are in business. Even just that hind helicopter on the first page.
So it was somewhere in the Baltic Sea, and there is talk of a downed US submarine, and the G.I. Joes have sent out a trawler boat disguised as civilians, and the October Guard are on the scene because they want to get access to this sub, and then later on Cobra turn up as well.
I had an absolute blast with this. It did get a little bit... It kind of keeps unfolding, and it's...
Yep. I really
like some of those earlier issues did.
Yep. I really like that twist at the end. I didn't see that coming.
No.
First, I did because I read it before, but I had semi-forgotten it, and I was like, oh yeah, shit, I remember this. Really like that. It's a bit more political, this one as well. Harmer drops in some political references and stuff.
We get some really nice Cobra eels. We get 2 of them, and they're basically meant to be crack commando
elite,
guys.
Yeah.
It's a skirmish. It is a special mission. It felt like I was reading something different.
Yeah.
And I kind of like how it is a different artist to the stuff that we're doing at the moment, because it just feels separate.
They launched some vehicles, and the Deep Six goes out in the Shark. Then in comes like you say, the Cobra and the eels and stuff.
Yeah, it's great hydrofoil action.
It's like a sort of hydrofoils in there. The October Guards, Dana and Horror Show, I think, go down in their wetsuits they splice the line, don't they? Because G.I. Joe has found the sub, and they've put a telecom line up to their ship, up to their boat, and the October Guard have come down. They've spliced into to get part of the feed.
Yes, yeah. Also, we've got Firefly here as well, which I just forgot.
Firefly's in it,
isn't he?
yeah.
With Baroness.
Yeah, on the boat, and just really good. You get there's great bits of dialogue. And actually, there's a massive spanner again. I think massive wrench where
I like it.
Deep Six has clocked Horror Show under the water.
I like it when Dana gets the snips out and takes out Cobra Eel.
Yeah, and there's some really cool dialogue in this. Colonel Brakov says something like, "Dana, I won't have to file that negative report to the KGB." He was literally about to shop her to the KGB if she didn't do a good job.
Yeah,
And there's a really cool bit where the hydrofoils crashed into the ship, and Baroness and Firefly have jumped out, and Baroness is shouting, "For Cobra!" and Firefly shouting, "For personal survival and promise of riches."
Yeah, that's what I mean. He's a funny guy.
He's a mercenary.
This is like a really this is like a TV episode.
Yes, very much so.
It could, oh God, it would be so good live action, because it starts off, it's like it's intrigue.
Yeah.
Lots of intrigue. Like, okay, what's going on here?
Yeah.
Just they're all posing as, what are they, pretending to be some
Swedish trawling fishermen. Fishermen, yeah.
And then Cobra rock up.
Cobra
and
rock
you've got
up in a
Russian-
submarine, in a Cobra submarine, but then Destro calls it all off, doesn't he? He's like, "Wait, hold fire."
Yeah, so Destro basically he gives you all the exposition, explains what's actually going on.
Yeah, and as it
or
turns
what
out,
he thinks is going on.
As it turns out, Captain Bulgakov, who is the October Guard's captain on the boat they're on, he's defecting.
He's defected.
He is defecting. He's got some harness strapped to him then
Yes!
some C-130 plane with Wild Bill flying it.
Dude,
is
that's
coming
like
in
the
it.
Dark Knight.
Yeah, it closes. It's close up, goes closer and closer and closer, and he gives the exposition then about he was a Jew and about his wife and being in Soviet Russia and how it held him back and all that. And then the line comes in, picks him up, whisks him off.
That's so cool, that technique.
Yeah.
Of extracting him.
Yeah, and then they boot him off, don't they? He kicks him. They kick Shipwreck's got horror show. And he says something like, Deep Six beamed him with a number 6 pipe wrench, but he's too big. Got to throw him back, and just boots him off the ship. And then
Discards. Love that.
Baroness and Firefly get booted off by the October Guard.
Yeah, so that is the first. I think that's the first ever Special Missions issue I've ever read.
Really?
Loved it. I think so. I'm not sure. Maybe, I don't know. How many are there, Chief?
28, and there's a preview in issue. There's like a half-length one in issue 50 of the regular series.
So what is there? 3 trades?
It's a good question. I'm not sure. Maybe even in 2. I don't know. I don't have the trades.
Because
If they're all like this, then bring them on.
Yeah. So can you just explain what the thinking was behind starting these special missions?
That's a great question, and I don't have the answer. So that is something I will research, or if someone else knows, probably the Seddon boys, let us know. Maybe it's just because sales. I mean,
it was successful.
Very, very quickly.
Very quickly.
I have actually got an email here. I emailed a guy called John Jackson Miller. Now he wrote a lot. He was a comic book writer. He wrote a lot of the Dark Horse Star Wars comic books.
Okay, yeah.
And he runs a website called Comic Hron, or I don't know if that's how you pronounce it. It's just comic, then the letter H, and then RON, comichron.com, and it catalogues comic book sales figures. And if you want to go on there and look at how many issues X-Men, how many copies X-Men issue 247 sold, you can go on there and you can look at sales charts. And I asked him a long time ago, back in November, if he had any information on G.I. Joe. And he gave me a nice guy, gave me an email, and basically said not a lot of files from the 80s, not a lot of reports still exist. He's still going through a lot of information, but he gave me G.I. Joe sales figures. So for 1983, there was 157,000 copies sold. 1984, it was up to 183,000. 1985, it hit 290,000.
Wow.
And then in 1986, it hit 331,000. And he references this. He says, those 1985, 1986 numbers are very high. It would have been number 3 in the industry behind Uncanny X-Men and Amazing Spider-Man in 1985, and number 2 behind only Uncanny X-Men in 1986.
And where are we right now?
This is
that's kind of where we are.
October 96 was issue 1 of Special Missions, but we're in February. Yeah, I mean, in the regular series, we just read up to February 86. So we're going into, we've come out the second highest ever year, because then it does drop off in 1987. No, it says 1987, no report filed. I don't have numbers for 1987, but we're in peak readership.
That correlates. I mean,
yeah,
these are peak issues.
Yeah. So,
fabulous.
Yeah, it was obviously doing really well. So, yeah. Well, I'll have some more updates on numbers from the next pod. I'll continue some of his email. But, yeah, good stuff. So,
how many cans of Yojo Cola are you cracking open for that?
Well, you go first on this one. I went first on the last one. What are you giving it?
Well, I'm chucking out 8s for fun, but it's an 8 for me, Chief.
Okay. 8. I am also giving it an 8. Yeah, just a reminder, people, we are going to do 45, 46, 47 and 48 next time.
Delicious.
Before we sign off, we need to do a little something called Chief asks Ben a question. Chief asks Ben a question. What'll he say? What'll he do when Chief asks Ben a question?
That's a hell of a voice.
So there is at the Prince Charles Cinema coming up on...
Whoa.
Do you know it?
Dude, do I? It's Tarantino's favourite cinema.
I've never been there. I don't even know where it is. Where is it?
What?
That's not the question.
It's in Leicester Square.
Okay,
Go
cool.
on, yeah.
On Saturday, the 30th of March, they are having... nope, incorrect. They are having an Arnie all-nighter. Do I go? It starts at 9:15 p.m, finishes at 9:17 a.m. They are showing Commando, followed by Predator, followed by Running Man, followed by Total
Oh.
Recall, followed by
best.
Terminator, followed by Terminator 2.
Okay, that's my list. That is that is perfect. You do go.
So,
I've done some double bills there. It's a really fun cinema because you go on their website. They do seasons. They do double bills. I think I saw Die Hard and Lethal Weapon back to back.
Well, actually,
there.
you mentioned that because in the other part of this email, this is an email that Peter Seddon sent me saying any interest, and as part of the email, it looks like there's a Godfather showing. There's a Twilight Saga one, which I'm not doing. There's a Harry.
Oh, the website's brilliant.
There's a Harry
Chief.
Potter one. So
it's really kind of grindhousey.
Okay.
You know, it's not actually. It's just off Leicester Square, kind of like in sort of Chinatown.
Yep.
It's so cool. It's a really cool cinema. You should do that.
So you're saying
Although, do you think you'll make
your
that?
answer to the question is go. Now let's bear in mind I'm normally in bed by about 9:45 p.m. So
yeah, don't go if you can't make it because
if
that's pointless.
if I went, I would stay awake for the whole thing. That's not an issue. But what
you lose the next day.
what would your plan be? Would you try and go to bed at like 6 p.m. for a couple of hours, or
So what is it a week? No, when was it?
Saturday the 30th of March?
Well, you know, you got a wife and a kid. It's difficult. Are you going to be able to get the pass? If you can get a Sunday pass.
Now the Sundays I have to take my kids swimming lessons. So
yeah, that's all right though.
I
mean, you can.
we leave the house at 9:30.
Ooh.
So I will not be back from Leicester Square to my house for 9:30.
Well, the missus is gonna have to give you a pass.
Right.
Sometimes you just got to do stuff.
Yeah. Like watch 6 Arnie movies in a row.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's Tarantino has gone on record. That is certainly in the UK his his best cinema.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Chief, please do that,
Alright.
and then you can. When is
Now
it?
then, it's March 30th. Obviously, if I go, I will recap it on the show.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
It does say here no admissions after midnight, so I'm guessing some people just duck in, miss the first 2, and then come. Actually, no, midnight after midnight. So if it starts at 9:15, you could realistically only miss Commander if you wanted to.
Dude, you will be surprised. That cinema will be ram jammed.
Yeah.
I reckon.
Okay.
Arnie all-nighter on a Saturday.
Now, have they got it in the right running order to not get, but not that you get bored in an Arnie movie because I love all these movies, but have they got the right running order? I'll give it to you again.
I think so.
Commando, Predator, Running Man, Total Recall, Terminator, Terminator 2.
Well, yeah. Okay, I was about to say they've got it pretty much in as the years they came out. The exception being Terminator.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, Terminator 2 is awesome, but you could actually lose that. It actually feels like the odd one out a little bit.
Well, I could theoretically.
It's the first one that's not really about
Theoretically, I could
Man.
leave after Terminator and still make swimming.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Jeez.
that's what it is. That's the question. You've answered it. Thank you very much. If people want to get
Where can
hold
they
of us,
find us?
they can find us in the usual places. Gmail is talkingjoecomics@gmail.com. You can find us on Instagram, Talking Joe Comics. We're up to 425 followers. Thank you to all you. We're on Twitter.
Mama.
Twitter, it's talking_Joe. The Facebook group is Talking Joe, a G.I. Joe podcast. Yeah, spread the word. Let us know what you think of it. And yeah, tell people to listen. That's the main thing.
Right,
That's it then. Hopefully everyone has a good week. We will catch you down the road.